Every day, over 100 new residents move to Las Vegas. Most left places where they were falling behind and are looking for a place where they can get ahead. They come because they've heard Las Vegas is a place you can still find a good job with benefits, buy a house, and send your kids to college. A place where you can still get ahead and not fall behind. A city where the American dream can still be found.
I moved to Las Vegas because I heard, Las Vegas is better, Las Vegas, they pay better, they have benefits, the workers.
I like the fact that it's a beautiful city, and I think that as a union member, we've helped it make it a beautiful city.
I came to Las Vegas because I had heard that the standard of living here would afford the average person the ideal American dream.
My life in Las Vegas is better because in Los Angeles I never have the opportunity to get a home.
They come in search of the Las Vegas dream, a dream fought for and won by the men and women of the Culinary Union. Since 1935, the members of the Culinary Workers Union Local 226 and their sister union, Bartenders Local 165, have struggled and sacrificed to build a strong union. In the process, they have won a standard of living for hospitality workers unmatched in any other city in the United States. Throughout the union's history, members have again and again been faced with the same decision: stand up and fight, or take what the bosses give them. Each time, they've stood up.
Well, we were chartered in 1935, same year that Boulder Dam was really getting going, and I think maybe it was done then. And it was a big tourist attraction to go to Boulder Dam, but then on their way to Boulder Dam, they found out Las Vegas had things to offer, and obviously we became a tourist town.
Throughout the 1950s and 60s, Las Vegas was viewed by the rest of the country as a kind of dreamland. To workers, it was a dreamland as well.
My husband and I were having a difficult time, so we ventured west.
Jobs were plentiful, wages good, and housing affordable.
I came to Las Vegas, I started working as a guest room attendant, and really was an incredible difference. The first time, I was hearing people can go to the doctor, and they don't have to pay anything.
We didn't have any benefits back in the Midwest, thanks to our culinary insurance. We get all those things. There is no comparison.
Las Vegas's desert isolation made workers' labor especially valuable, and their union made sure they were treated fairly.
Las Vegas was exactly, heaven.
As the 1970s approached, things began to change in Las Vegas. Corporations moved in, replacing the mostly family-owned local operators who dominated the industry. Over time, these corporations would transform Las Vegas from a dusty frontier town to an international vacation destination. In 1971, the union staged its first citywide strike, when workers on the Strip and downtown struck for 3 days.
I remember in 1971, that was my first strike.
I remember being on the picket line on Graveyard.
Being out that short period of time and walking the pavement and being hot.
I had the president of the hotel, the food and beverage director of the hotel, an hour before the strike, coming down to tell me to stay in the hotel. And I absolutely told those big people, no, I will never do that. I never, ever. I'm a culinary member, and I will fight for my brothers and sisters, and money was not that important to me.
In 1976, an incredible 22,000 workers belonged to the Culinary Union.
Well, the 1976 strike was really, I think, the first indication that the corporatization had taken hold.
But the union was constantly struggling to improve the standard of living in Las Vegas. Workers again marched out and casinos had to close.
They shut the lights off after we walked out, and then they locked the doors.
Out on the picket lines, strikers watched as the neon lights of the Strip's famous marquees went dark.
No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned.
I got sent here in January of '84. We knew it was going to be very tough because in this country at the time you had had the Greyhound strike, Phelps-Dodge strike, the Patco strike. It was corporate America's sort of green light to go after unions and their rights.
In Las Vegas, the union's health plan was severely underfunded, not even offering coverage for workers' families.
During the 1984 strike, our main issue was concerning the raises in health and welfare. And the reason that I went out on the strike is because of all of those things. Being divorced, I had a single child to take care of, and medical was a big issue.
As workers hit the picket lines on the morning of April 2nd, 1984, they saw the strike as a fight to save their health plan. But others saw it as an opportunity to rid Las Vegas of the Culinary Union once and for all.
It was rough. It was rough for my family. I had to do it just not for my family, but for other families too.
Everybody, even if they were starving, they found a way to wait and support our union and stay out there.
The union emerged from the '84 strike bruised and battered, barely alive. Most members believed the Culinary Union's days were numbered and that the casinos would finish the union off when the contracts expired in 1989. Still, many members refused to give up. Making the decision to stand up and fight for their union was never so important.
What we decided is, with a partnership with the local and international union, was that we were going to rebuild this into a rank-and-file union. We knew we had to get the Mirage, so that was going to be the first new property built on the Strip in 16 years. It was going to define Las Vegas, and we had to be part of that definition. We had to have a ticket to our growth, which was our card check neutrality language, which eventually got us to get the Mirage and other casinos that opened up on the Strip.
Throughout the 1990s, mega resorts seemed to pop up overnight. The card check language that the members had fought so hard for ensured that the workers at these new resorts could choose unionization quickly, fairly, and without harassment. More recently, workers at the Rio and the Aladdin also had to fight tough battles to get their employers to accept card checks. From 1989 to 2005, an incredible 30,000 workers unionized their casinos through card checks, making the Culinary Union the fastest growing private sector local union in the country. In 1990, workers struck the horseshoe. During the strike, thousands would join the strikers on the picket line, and hundreds would be arrested in acts of civil disobedience.
I don't know what's going to happen, but we don't care. We need a union.
I did walk out the back door, you know, and I'm glad I did.
And I was there to meet you.
That's right. You know, when they said drop everything and walk out, you know, then it's the time for truth, you know. Do you stay in or do you go? You know, what are your beliefs? You know, are you strong enough to stand up for what you believe?
It was tough because I had 2 children, my wife. But I was fighting for something. And I'll tell you what, by the time the strike was over, I was sick on the picket line. I wasn't back to work a month. And within a month, month and a half, I was having brain surgery. And that insurance is what I was fighting for.
After 9 months, the strikers overwhelmingly ratified a new contract and returned to work.
.464 strike, 7 no.
The last holdout in the 1989 contract fight was the Frontier. On September 21, 1991, culinary workers struck the casino.
I wonder why God chose the Frontier, 550 workers, and we wonder why we were chosen, because it could have been any other hotel.
And it was easy fight. It was a very difficult fight. It was 6 years, 4 months, 10 days. But they showed to the entire city their determination.
Que es like a saying, oh my God, it works, valió la pena que mi hija estuviera en ese picket line por tantos años. Fue cuando yo dije, caramba, sí se podía.
Me and Mary were talking about it. It was like the Martin Luther King all over again.
Out of 550 workers, nobody crossed back across the picket line. You got to be willing to stay out.
When the MGM Grand opened in December of 1993, thousands of culinary workers rallied outside, protesting the casino opening non-union.
The MGM opening was really important because everybody said you can't do it. It's too big. Nobody has 5,000 rooms. The management was basically very firmly non-union.
They had promised us in the beginning no layoffs. Unfortunately, in 1995, we had one of the biggest layoffs ever. In 1995, I was visited by the culinary workers, the organizers, and they had asked me, would I consider becoming a committee member? I was a little intimidated and scared, but so anxious to join so that there would be a great change in my working atmosphere.
We fought against the die-hard non-union people tooth and nail, and I'm talking about people who were die-hard, don't talk to me, get out of my face type people. Now we're coming to me going, what can we do, what can we do?
By 1997, MGM workers had won the right to a card check, unionized, and negotiated their first contract. In 2002, workers had to deal with deep layoffs and cutbacks that followed the September 11 attacks.
At the negotiation table, we showed to the company we're not going back off. And we showed to the company we're going to make these things happen. And the food servers joined the hands-to-hands, with the GRA, the bus person, kitchen workers. We fought very, very hard in 2002 and organized the department of the housekeeping department. But we knew it's going to be an incredible battle, and we know it's going to be an incredible challenge.
People came together for the first time in large groups after 9/11 and said, enough is enough. We're going to have our good contract, and we're prepared to strike.
On May 16th, the union held a strike vote at the Thomas and Mack Center.
Over 25,000 people filled Thomas and Mack. Basically, the strip settled because we were prepared to walk. But we also had downtown. No one was going to be left behind. So we geared and we focused that entire organization that had been built in big strip casinos to downtown. In fact, hotels on the strip adopted hotels downtown.
The downtown casinos settled, but it would take an 8-day strike for the last holdout, the Golden Gate, to sign. Healthcare remained premium-free for workers, wage increases the highest, and for the first time, workload reductions were negotiated for the guest room attendants in the housekeeping departments.
Couldn't have done it without the maids, and maids need to buy houses. That's simple. We have to stand with them Because if we don't, our power base goes away.
The 2002 contracts were the best yet for the union.
With a little love and some tenderness, we'll walk upon the water, we'll rise above the mist. With a little peace and some harmony, we'll take the world together.
Las Vegas is a city that is constantly changing, but the dream that brings workers here hasn't changed. What it takes to make that dream come true hasn't changed either.
Yesterday, I saw you standing there. Your hair was down, your eyes were red. No comb, I touched your hair. I said, get up and let me see you smile. We'll take a walk together.
We have to get Stations Casino.
I am ready to organize Stations Casino. I want them with a bad passion.
They're the third largest employer in this town.
They want to destroy what we've been building for years.
If we're going to keep our standard of living and our wages and our benefits, we cannot let one corporation undermine Local 226 and Local 165.
You need to pass the word on and have them pass the word on.
We need to get the unions in there.
Now, as in the past, it's a question of, do we stand up and fight, or do we back down and take what the bosses give us?
It's payback time.
I'm ready for the fight.
Are you ready? Because I'm ready.
I wanna love you the best that I can. Oh, best that I can.
I'm ready to get Station Casinos, and I know we're gonna get it. Sí se puede.